Good morning, guys. So it is about 3. I'm just getting up now. I'm going to have an Arizona, and I'm going to go edit some of the 2 vlogs that I've missed and the Fight Like a Warrior video that I'm going to be doing and editing for their organization. So I am really excited to do that. Being that today is going to be just like, I have to do a lot of like schoolwork and stuff on my computer, like vlog related and stuff like that. I'm going to give my partial full medical update today. I've been holding off on doing it just because I've been very confused with everything going on. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day so far, and I will be taking you guys along on my day. Hey guys, so today kind of turned into I can't handle being like, sorry, I'm just trying to figure out which lumen to close off. I think it was this one. And I don't have days like this very often, or pretty much at all, but it's like I don't have the energy to the point of like not even being able to like lay on the couch upstairs, like I'm having to stay in bed, which is upsetting. I think I was up for like an hour earlier and I can't handle it right now. But I came down, I ran some extra fluids, and I did kind of go through. I uploaded the Thanksgiving vlog, and then I'm working right now on the vlog from yesterday, and I'm going to export it. Just a lot of weird stuff going on recently. I am seeing the TPN specialist on Tuesday, so I'm interested to see what is going to be said about that whole situation. I'm also going to be packing a bag on Monday night before Tuesday. God forbid they admit me to start TPN. My last admission, I didn't even have my phone charger, so I want to be actually prepared, because I know that there is a chance if I get prescribed TPN that I'm going to be hospitalized again. So I'm going to make a bag just in case. So as I'm going to make this kind of short, there's still a lot of research I need to put into this. I don't know everything completely yet, but I know enough that I'm kind of angry. So I had spoken to, I didn't speak. The IBD specialist I had seen that admitted me to the hospital the other day on Wednesday emailed me after I emailed him and had been emailing him about finding out my biopsy results. He finally emailed me back, and when he emailed me back, literally there was no like good morning, hi, nothing, and there was no like thank you, goodbye, whatever. It was no opening, no closing statement, and the doctor just said looks fine. That was it. He said nothing else. So I'm emailing him back, trying to get a little bit more information about my pathology reports, because when it comes to this type of colitis, I don't exactly trust it with doctors. I don't trust that doctors, because I was originally misdiagnosed with ulcerative colitis. I had been showing symptoms of colitis. Ulcerative colitis and lymphocytic colitis are treated the exact same way, but figuring out flares for both of them are different. So when I was originally diagnosed with colitis, I was originally diagnosed with ulcerative, which I don't have. Ulcerative means that you'd have like these ulcers, like these bleeding, like, you know, really infected parts of your colon. And I didn't have that. So when I was originally diagnosed, the doctor that I was seeing at the time said the colonoscopy looked clear, but you have a lot of white blood cells in your intestinal tissue, so I'm going to diagnose you with ulcerative colitis and start treatment. Thankfully, like I said, the treatment is the same. He didn't start aggressive enough treatment. I ended up seeing the doctor that I've been seeing for the past like 3.5 years, who I'm not going to be seeing anymore. And he was the one that ended up treating it, but then he was the one that re-diagnosed me with lymphocytic colitis and not ulcerative. So I always have problems when I talk to GIs about this, that they don't understand that lymphocytic colitis is literally only diagnosed through biopsy reports, and doctors tend to obsess on the fact that my colonoscopies will look fine. You know, that the tissue looks fine, so therefore I have no diseased areas in my intestine. I don't even know how to explain this shortly, but basically I was upset, and I haven't talked to you guys about it because we were like, okay, well then I'm in remission, like then what the hell is going on? You know, I'm in remission, that's really, really weird. While we were driving for Thanksgiving, I was doing research into some of the tests I've had done. I haven't personally seen the pathology reports. I need to see those. I don't trust doctors. Like, with this type of colitis, I do not trust doctors whatsoever. So, especially with the way that he handled this. But anyway, so I was looking into research, looking into medical, like, literature, and reading stuff about some of the testing I had done and what it indicates and stuff like that, because my blood work was indicating an inflammatory bowel disease flare. But what my original doctor, why he didn't run the colonoscopy and I had to go to this other doctor, was because I had a stool test done. I think it's called like the calprotectin level, something like that. So when I was doing research and I was looking into medical literature the other day, I was reading these articles. It turns out the calprotectin test, that has, like, it is not sensitive to lymphocytic or microscopic colitis whatsoever. It's only ulcerative and sometimes Crohn's, but it's not ever sensitive for lymphocytic or microscopic colitis. So what I found interesting is that level is supposed to be between 0.1 and 0.9, and I looked back at all of the times over the past 3.5 years that I've been tested for it, and even when I was in my documented flare years ago, my level the entire time I've ever been tested was a 0.1. So I thought that was a little bit weird. I thought that was weird when I originally got those test results back. But as I was looking into it, my test results came back as a 0.7, which is still very much in range, but it's just interesting when all my other blood work is kind of leaning towards inflammatory bowel disease, and that is the highest I've ever seen it documented. You know, it's just a little bit weird. We came to the conclusion that I'm going to continue taking the steroids. I'm not going to stop. Another thing that when I was doing research that I found comparing lymphocytic colitis and IBS is that IBS doesn't cause nocturnal issues and nocturnal attacks, which I'm having in the middle of the night, and IBS doesn't necessarily cause accidents. And I've had accidents previously, but not like this. I've had accidents because I'm drinking like a laxative or something, not because I'm just waking up and randomly like not being able to make it to the bathroom in time. So we decided yesterday to be pursuing a special GI practice at Johns Hopkins that specializes in microscopic colitis, and I'm going to contact them on Monday. I'm going to see if they accept my insurance, and I'm going to make an appointment to see them. It sucks, I'm going to have to be going to Maryland, but that's how it is. You know, I've noticed with a lot of my friends, you know, that have these kind of more rare conditions, you have to go out of state, you know, and I thought that I was going to be okay because I'm in New York, and New York City has, you know, amazing doctors and everything, but I'm going to go out of state. I'm going to the specialist group. So we're going to still treat it as a flare. I'm still having issues with my heart rate, so I'm going to still do everything I'm doing. I'm still going to take the steroids, and I'm just going to keep figuring this out on my own. And I'm going to pursue a specialist that actually knows what they're talking about. I don't like the lack of respect I've had from the doctors recently, and I don't like the fact that nobody's listening to me, and then something's coming up, and then all of a sudden I'm right. And I don't mean to sound like I know what I'm doing more than doctors do, but at a certain point when they don't know what's going on, and when you have a condition that you know a lot about, and you know your body, like, that's when, and it's not that I'm being disrespectful, it's just that I know that something's wrong. This happened when I was diagnosed with POTS. This is something that happened when I was diagnosed with EDS. I knew something was wrong, and I went and pursued it, and it ended up getting confirmed by doctors. So I'm just doing the same thing. And you know, this condition also is usually fixed. Usually it's women that are over 50 or 60 that are diagnosed, and it's usually fixed by just eating gluten-free, and that's it. No medication, nothing. And so there's something wrong. We know that there's something wrong. I'm sorry that this was a really long drawn out explanation, but something's going on. So I'm going to stay on the steroids. I'm going to keep doing all of the IV things that I need to do. I'm going to be seeing this doctor about starting TPN on Tuesday, and I'm going to pursue this John Hopkins, you know, situation. So I'm sorry for the long update. I did want to kind of get things a little bit more in order before I talk to you guys about it, but I'm going to finish editing this vlog, and hopefully I'll be feeling well enough in a little bit to go play my game a little bit. So there is one more thing I wanted to say that I kind of didn't mention whatsoever in the last video, but I just wanted to say that I had a realization last night that, like, obviously this is like the farthest thing from what I viewed my life to be at 23, but I had this like heavy realization last night, like, I'm at least trying to make the best of a really bad situation, like, and I've been dealing with, you know, being depressed and stuff recently, and like, I don't think I actually am. I think I'm just frustrated. Like, I don't think that I'm actually depressed. Like, I'm so happy that I feel like I'm trying at least to make a difference, and trying to like make the best of a bad situation, and I want to be there to support other people, and I want to, you know, do this new stuff with my channel where I'm giving people who are chronically, temporarily, permanently ill, like, you know, distraction techniques, apps to play that are great, and things to do so that you don't focus on the pain and symptoms and stuff. Like, I'm wanting to sit and really try to make a difference for people. Like, I feel all the time like I'm not being productive, but I think I actually am. I think I'm being productive. Like, I'm in an unproductive situation, but I'm being as productive as I can be in it. I'm trying to do as much as I can. Like, I feel like I'm not being productive, but I am. I don't know, like, I just wanted to come on and say, like, I think I actually am really happy where my life is right now. I have amazing friends. I have, like, amazing people I talk to every day. I have an amazing boyfriend. My family, Adrian's family, like, everything, like, is really, really, actually really good right now. Even though I'm sick, like, and I think I'm having this realization, like, I am still able to be happy and productive even if I can't do much. So, I just wanted to come on to say that. It's like 7:30 or something. Yeah, it's 7:24, so I'm going to finish editing this vlog. Basically, with what I was saying before, I'm going to make a post on Instagram about this too. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that it is extremely possible to be sick and still be happy with where your life is. I'm not just saying that. I've had just such a huge realization the past 24 hours or so. I didn't think I was happy, and I think I actually am. So, yeah. Hey guys, like I said the other day, I really need to start closing these out the night of. Last night, so Adrian's younger brother's girlfriend's best friend came over, and I've been hearing about her since the two of them started dating. She has lupus, and we just talked for like a really long time, and it was the first time that either of us have really sat and talked to somebody that understands, you know, what each of us are going through and stuff. That was really cool. I have a lot of homework and stuff to do today. It's like 2, but I'm closing out the vlog, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching.